Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Keytime Sports. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and the Key on Millions.co. Here is my media feed. Here's my profile first so that you will know it's me. Here is my media feed. Here is my media feed for all my different segments, sound bites, and clips. And here is my merchandise. We have merchandise that is on millions.co. We just added a few new shirts to our repertoire and to our lineup for today. And we also are going to be working on more merchandise later on this week. And by the end of the month, you all will be seeing new designs and new apparel. So let's not waste any time. We had the championship, AFC and NFC championship game on the docket this weekend, and I'm going to tell you that both of these games sure did live up to the hype, regardless of what people are saying about the Patriots and the Broncos game that happened first. It was still a very, very good game, no matter what the weather and climate was, and no matter how bad both of those offenses played. Those were two top 10 defenses that were on the field. So I expected it to be a low scoring game. But Drake May, 10 of 21, 86 yards, zero touchdowns, zero interceptions. Jarrett Stidham, 17 of 31, 133 yards, one touchdown, one interception. And then you see the rushing attack in this game for the Broncos. It was 79 yards. The rushing attack for the Patriots was 141 yards. Now, one thing I can just say is that I'm going to give y'all the stats, but you know what? I'm just going to give y'all a lot of highlight clips today because I know basically what I've been saying for the entirety of this season. Y'all have seen it week in, week out, but I want y'all to be able to see it for yourself. And for anybody who necessarily did not see the entirety of the game, this is exactly what I am talking about. I'm talking about these exact sequences in the game, and I'm also talking about how third down situations in this game was critical for both of these teams. And I'm going to tell y'all, third down efficiency in this game was god awful. Third down efficiency for the Patriots, they were 6 of 18. Third down efficiency for the Broncos, they were 4 of 14. Fourth down efficiency, 1 of 1, 0 of 1 for the Broncos. And I'm going to tell y'all that fourth down play on 4th and 1, they should not have went for it on fourth down. Sean Payton, you should not have gone for it. And now I'm going to show y'all some clips, probably even the whole highlight video of this. Now, first we start off with the first the first drive of the game. Stidham goes back to pass, and he was not able to hit his receiver. Now we get to a point in this drive where it's 3rd and 10, and this was probably Stidham's best throw of the day. Wide receiver all the way down to the 8, and we get down to the 8. I'm going to fast forward a few minutes. Touchdown Courtland Sutton. And I said Courtland Sutton would have to have a big game. And earlier on, they did have a big game. Now, as you can see, everybody's attention was to Courtland Sutton on this play. Everybody. These two cornerbacks was his attention was on Courtland Sutton. This guy, he's focused on the running back right here. So as you see, the play starts to develop. He goes for the quarterback. Then Sutton leaks out for a touchdown. Now we get to the Patriots suing possession. Stephon Diggs gets his first catch of the game in this play. Then we get to a point on this drive where the Patriots go 3-and-out. Now, for a minute there, it was very much as far as the Broncos may run away with this, but I always said that the Patriots defense is going to wake up, and that's exactly what they did. The Patriots defense woke up really well, as you can see, because we saw Stidham, right? Stidham, he stood back in the pocket, and now Cortland Sutton, he's got to help out Stidham there. He does. He has to help out Stidham. And Drake May, you got to get rid of the ball there. You just got to throw it out of bounds no matter what. Even if it is an intentional grounding penalty, throw the ball away. Drake May back to pass, he throws, and that wasn't a good pass because he didn't throw the ball up. You're supposed to throw the ball up in the receiver's numbers, but he threw it down and low. Now, as we can see, on this drive right here, and I'm pretty sure this is basically where all the momentum went to the Patriots side of things on this drive, because this is the drive where they get down the field and they go for it on fourth down. We are a few plays before that, so I'm just going to wait. We are at second down. Let's say second down. Second down, 3rd and 6. Let's say Stidham. He gets down there, 4th and 1. Now, before I get to this play, and let's see, I'm going to go back a few seconds. Before I get to this play, it's 4th and 1. You have a backup quarterback. You also, points are going to be at a premium in this game since these are two of the best defenses in the AFC. If I'm Sean Payton, I would have called a timeout, put my kicking group out there, put the field goal unit out there, and went up by 10 points. Now, I obviously said when I was looking at this game, I said that those 3 points are going to loom large later on in the game, and that's exactly what they did. Because, see, 4th and 1, I'm not calling I'm not going back to pass and throwing the ball. No, I'm going to do a quarterback sneak or a run right up the middle. That's what I'm going to do. But obviously, the Broncos, they went back to pass, and it was pretty much dead at the end of that play when he started going back to pass. See, obviously everybody was focused on the wide receiver right there. Everybody was focused on him. Now, May back to pass. He gets sacked. Now, here's one problem that I have with the New England Patriots offensive line. They aren't able to keep Drake May upright because you allowed 5 sacks versus the Texans and you allowed 5 sacks versus the Broncos on yesterday. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, one thing that I can say about the Seattle Seahawks is Seattle, they can get after the quarterback. And from the looks of it right now, if I was going to put a bet on this game, I would bet the Seahawks, but I am not an irrational bettor. We got 2 weeks for a reason before the Super Bowl happens, so I am going to wait for those 2 weeks. Y'all come back to me. I'm going to say Friday of next week, just before the Super Bowl, and I will give y'all my prediction for the Super Bowl. But I just want to get back to the Denver Broncos. For all of the so-called analysts and experts that pick the Denver Broncos to win this game, I got to call y'all credibility into question because Stidham, he hadn't thrown a pass in an NFL game in over 2 years. And yet you all are saying that the Broncos were going to win this game? I mean, come on. You got to have cohesiveness with the team. Now, I'm not saying that Stidham is a bad quarterback, but you haven't seen the field in a long time. 2 years without throwing a pass in an NFL game, that's like dog years. It is. It's like dog years. And as we can see, he didn't really play that great at all. He really didn't. He was 17 or 31, and the game was there for the taking a lot of times because Patriots offense, they wasn't doing anything. And it seems like every time when we saw a third down situation in this game, it was 3rd and 10 plus, as you can see with these clips I'm showing you right here. And we saw Drake May. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Drake May, he made a little history yesterday. He is the second youngest quarterback in NFL history to make the Super Bowl. The first, Dan Marino. So Drake May is already in elite category. So it's Dan Marino and then there's Drake May. The Patriots, in this case, offensively, I'm a little iffy about their offense. When it comes to their running attack, it's not as good as Seattle's. Now I'm not making my prediction just yet, but I'm giving y'all a little pros and cons of what I'm seeing already. Now, who knows, in another week and a half, or once we get up to the game, things may change. But as of right now, offensively, I got to give the advantage to Seattle. Defensively, it's a toss-up because Seattle's defense is good. New England's defense is good. When it comes to coaching and experience in the Super Bowl, Josh McDaniels has been in 6 Super Bowls already. Mike Vrabel was in Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. So if the coaching staff and as far as experience, advantage New England Patriots. Now, as far as the X factors, there are so many X factors that I'm gonna have to get into, but I am not going to get into that today because I need to see who all is going to play in the Super Bowl and to see if we have any injuries that we need to keep track of before the Super Bowl happens. But back to the first game at hand. I'm just going to tell y'all this. Patriots didn't even have 200 yards of total offense. This was a downright defensive slugfest, as you may call it. Now, I'm just going to fast forward to the fourth quarter. Now, there was a snowstorm that came in during the fourth quarter. I'm just going to fast forward to the fourth quarter. Late third quarter, it started, a snowstorm came. And I noticed that offensively, you're not going to be able to generate yards and points in a snowstorm like that. You're not. So every play in the Patriots-Broncos game in the fourth quarter, every play meant something. And I do mean every play. Because as you can see right here, this was late in the third quarter where the Patriots, they got down there, they got a first down, snow flurries and rain galore on the field. Everybody started to slip on the field. Field goal points were at a premium in this game. As you can see, the New England kicker, he missed the field goal. And Denver, they also missed the field goal too. So this was and as you can see, rain, wind, snow flurries. Obviously, and I do mean obviously, this was a game, this was a slugfest for a reason. Snow, it was in the defense's favor. Patriots, they blend in with some of the snow a little bit because they had on white jerseys. One thing that I can say, I believe that Sean Payton, Now, Sean Payton, we already know we're not going to take anything that he says into question. We're not going to take any of his playing styles that he does into question because it has got him to where it's gotten him. But, man, oh man, one thing I can say is that Broncos, I keep on hearing people say that the Broncos, they may have a chance at getting back to the playoffs next year. Yeah, that you can say that. You can say that. You can say that they'll get back to the playoffs next year, but getting back in this situation, I just don't know. I just don't know if they'll be able to get back to the AFC Championship game because when it comes to the AFC Championship game, for either team that has made it to the AFC Championship game the previous year, everybody in that conference is taking a blueprint out of their playbook in order to get to the AFC Championship game. So, do I think the Patriots will get back to the AFC Championship game? More than likely, yes. But I don't think that it'll be next year. It may be a couple of years down the road because I am going to say something. The Patriots, they have got a championship contender now, year in and year out. And I know that this is just the second year of a Drake May-led team, but defensively, Patriots, they are up there. They are one of the top 10 defenses in the NFL. Offensively, they still have work to do. Broncos, I believe that they are going to take a step back, even with not Drake May, but Bo Nix coming back to the fold. And now we get to the point in this video where it was the nitty-gritty time. Under 3 minutes left, Stidham goes back to pass, and what was this? He shoveled the ball a lot. And see, this is why I said you cannot put money on a quarterback who hasn't thrown a pass in an NFL game in over 2 years. See, this is why I say Stephen A., he was not wrong. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith, by the way. Love your brother. Hey, watch First Take every day. But let me get back. Stephen A. Smith, he wasn't wrong for the Patriots. If the Patriots would have lost this game, it would have not looked great for them because quarterback who hasn't played an NFL game in 2 years, you lose to that quarterback who is rusty as some metal bricks, who not rusty, but dry rotted. That's what his play was yesterday. His play was dry rotted metal nails and bricks. That's what Jarrett Stidham was yesterday. Because Jarrett Stidham, he was not able to throw the ball with precision like we are used to. Now, credit it. He does have his traits and stuff, and throughout his career, he has been with Josh McDaniels and all that. But when it comes down, when the rubber meets the road, and when somebody had to make a play in yesterday's AFC Championship game, it was the New England Patriots. And for the first time in 7 years, the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. They will be playing the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the next game I am going to cover, and this was the NFC Championship game. This was basically the game of all games. And basically, I believe whoever won this game would have a great chance at winning the Super Bowl. So I am not going to waste any time. We had the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Matthew Stafford, 23 of 35, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Sam Darnold, 25 of 36, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. America, I got to give Sam Darnold credit because he did not put the ball in harm's way in this game. He did not put the ball in harm's way. The rushing attack for the Seattle Seahawks was at a premium, only 75 yards on the ground. For the Rams, it was 114. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 153 yards on 10 catches and a touchdown. Puka Nacua, 9 catches, 165 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, once we get to the team statistics in this game, third down efficiency, the Rams were 1 of 8 on third down in this game. America, what do I always say? Well, excuse me, world, what do I always say when it comes to somebody not being able to stay on the field on third down? The Rams were not able to stay on the field. 1 of 8. I always say this. A team that goes 3 of 12, 2 of 16, 1 of 8, they are not going to win the game. They aren't. And the Seattle Seahawks rushing attack led by Kenneth Walker, I believe Kenneth Walker, he is going to have over 100 yards in the Super Bowl. I am willing to bet that. Now, I do see the parlays and stuff when it comes to Super Bowl 60. You have quite a few parlays already. I'm looking at my other big board screen right now, and there is 2 touchdowns for Sam Darnold. That is a plus 175 right now. It is Monday, January 26th at 9:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But those prop bets are going to fluctuate in the next couple of weeks. So if I were you all, I would wait on that game. I would wait on those prop bets and predictions. I would wait until the Super Bowl, until maybe 2-3 days before the Super Bowl. But back to what I was saying. Sam Darnold, I got to give Sam Darnold credit. He didn't put the ball in harm's way, and it was pretty much a flawless game by him. As you can see, I'm going to go through the highlight tape. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to just go through the highlight clips of this game. And when it comes to the Seahawks, as you can see, Rashid Shaheed is the X factor going into the Super Bowl for the Seahawks. He had a 50-yard play yesterday in the game, and he's basically had 1 or 2 big plays ever since he joined the Seattle Seahawks earlier on in the season. Now, one thing that I can say about the Rams defense was their downfall throughout the entirety of this season, and special teams. Special teams blunders, defensive blunders. See, this is why I always say, if one of your units has a critical mistake, then your team is not going to be able to get to the championship. And credit to the Los Angeles Rams for getting this far, because the Los Angeles Rams, they could have easily lost to the Panthers or the Bears. They could have. And then you see the Seattle Seahawks, who has a second year coaching staff led by Mike McDonald. He was a defensive guy, a defensive coordinator before he got this job with the Seahawks. And you can see what the defense has done for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, there are points in this game that I'm going to get to. Now, I'm going to get to the fumble that the Rams had in the game. And I'm going to get to that 4th down play. Now, before I get to that, first off, let me get to this play right here. Now, he fumbled, but he got back on this one. Now, I was already skeptical about, okay, you need a new punt returner out there, because you got a guy that is calling fair catch and he fumbles the ball, you don't want to have him back there and he gives the game away. So this was second quarter. Second quarter, the Rams, they go down the field and they get a touchdown to the running back, Keiwond Walker. Now, the defense for the Rams right here, I was expecting them to stop the Seahawks, but you give up a touchdown before halftime and you pretty much give the Seahawks the momentum. You gave the Seahawks the momentum, and it seems like the Seahawks didn't relinquish the momentum afterwards because they scored a touchdown right here, and it's 17-13. 17-13, and the Rams, they were just going uphill. They were going uphill for the rest of the game. I don't even think the Rams, they didn't even have the lead the next. They didn't even have the lead in the third or the fourth. Because as you can see, now Stafford was down there. He did not fumble. Stafford was down there. So we get to the second half of this game. Second half. Let me go back. And now we get to a point where here's the punt. And this is the same guy that's back here. He called for a fair catch. But I just want to understand, why are you falling back trying to get the ball? See, this is where the Rams, they pretty much was losing grip on the game. Because the guy, he falls back and he gets the ball, and it's like, what were you doing right there? And and the Rams defense, they allow a touchdown right there. And I wasn't going to say that this was pretty much the game, but up by 10, up by 11, you're on the road. Your offense yards are becoming a premium for your offense, and your defense isn't able to stop the opposing offense. And the Rams, they got a 38-yard pass play there, but it never seemed like the Rams were able to get the momentum back on their side. Even with this touchdown right here, when it comes to, well, not a touchdown, but with this catch right here, and then touchdown from Davante Adams right here, it never seemed like the Rams were able to really control the momentum of the game. Yes, they were only down by 4 points for most of the time in the second half, but they were never able to get the lead. They weren't. And as you can see, we get down here to the final few minutes of the third quarter. Defense wasn't able to get off the field. Here it is, a 3rd and 3. Rams defense was not able to get off the field. Donald back to pass. Cooper Kupp all the way in the end zone. And that's basically what the Rams had problems with all throughout this season. There were a couple of defensive blunders here, defensive lapses here, and they had problems on special teams. But that does not say what I'm going to say once we get to this part in the game. Once we get to the last few minutes of the game, when it's 31-27, I'm just going to fast forward to it. Let's get down to the final 5 minutes of the game. Okay, we are at 7 minutes left in this game. So this play was kind of a broken play. 1st and 5, Puka, he gets a 5-yard play. Then right here, now before I get to it, right here, it's 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. I know that the Rams, they want to get this, they want to get the touchdown, right? They do. They want to get the touchdown. But I'm just going to let y'all see this play. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who didn't watch the entirety of this game. I'm going to just let y'all see this. 3rd and 4, Stafford back to pass, throws it sidearm, almost intercepted. Now, this 4th down right here, this is basically the play of the game. Now, everybody knows that I would like to be an offensive coordinator one day. If I'm in this situation, it's 4th and 4. I have 5 minutes left. I have 3 timeouts. The game is pretty much still in reach. I'm only down by 4. I am going to kick this field goal. I am going to kick the field goal, make the field goal, and I'm going to be down by 1 point, and I'm going to tell my defense, I need y'all to get me a stop. If we get 1 stop, we get the ball back, we go down, kick the field goal, and we go into the Super Bowl. But obviously, the Rams did not do this right here. And as you can see, look at this play right here. Broken play, everybody is covered up. You knew everybody was going to be covered up. Now, I don't understand what the offensive coordinator was thinking about for the Rams, and I don't know what Sean McVay was thinking about. But if you need help, Sean McVay, for an offensive play call consultant, I am your guy, because I would have went for it. I would have not have went for it. I would have gone for the field goal to get it down to 1. And when I say the field goal, see, the field goal was at a premium because the Rams, they were able to get the ball back. You see this? The Rams were able to get the ball back. And like I said, if the Rams get the field goal, totally different game. It's a totally different game if the Rams kick the field goal and make it, because they're only down by 1. And they would have had a mountain of opportunity, even though they get the ball back with, they get the ball back with 25 seconds left. So, here's the situation. Rams would have kicked the field goal at the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. They would be down by 1. 25 seconds left. You would have had to travel, I'm going to say, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 40. You would have had to travel at least 55 to 65 yards in 2 plays. Now, right here, if I was if I was Stafford right here now, I was a quarterback in middle school, so I can understand he had to get the ball out. He had to get the ball out on time no matter what, no matter how much pressure was coming. You have to keep the last play of your season alive. You do. So, Stafford, he goes back to pass, and he gets out of bounds. Now, a timeout would have helped right there. A timeout would have helped. But one thing I go back to, there was 5 plays in this game where the Rams, they did not make them, and the Seahawks made them. That 4th down that I just showed y'all, that was one of the plays that were questionable. Not stopping the Seahawks earlier on in the game, that was questionable. Defensive coordinator for the Rams, he should have had a better game plan. Now, I know that I'm just gonna say this. I know that JSN is that guy. I know that Kenneth Walker is that guy. But you need more than just one tackler to tackle. You need more than just one defender, excuse me, to tackle those guys. You do. You need at least three guys from the defense to tackle Jackson Smith and Njigba, and not just Kenneth Walker too, but anybody that is on the opposing offense. At least have three guys coming to tackle those guys, coming to tackle those offensive players. But all in all, it was a very, very entertaining NFC Championship game. The AFC Championship game was a defensive struggle. It was a very, very entertaining game if you like defense. I know a lot of people said that it was a boring game, but hey, when you got two top 10 defenses playing against each other, what else do you expect? What else do you expect? So now we get to the current game at hand. Current game at hand, we have the Super Bowl. We have the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. Here is the updated playoff bracket. The Super Bowl is in Santa Clara, California. Now, Super Bowl is going to be on NBC, and I'm going to reiterate that once I do my prediction show on the Super Bowl. But the Super Bowl will be on NBC, and you will, for people who don't have NBC, they will be able to watch it on Peacock, Fubo, and other streaming platforms. As of right now, there are still a couple of streaming platforms that are in motion to broadcast the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl is set. And with that, those are my reactions to NFL Championship weekend in the AFC and NFC. So please like, comment, share, subscribe to Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and the Key on Millions.co. Here is my merchandise on Millions.co. Here is my profile so that you will know it's me. Here is the profile. Here's my media feed for all of my different segments, sound bites, and clips from today's show, and couple of clips from last week's prediction preview for AFC and NFC Championship game. And remember, everybody, one last thing: the key is always on time.